welcome to the 8-Bit Cat Show, a place where friends geek out over the nerdy things we love, sometimes with cats. Duke is here, enjoying his moment in the spotlight. I'm your host, Stephanie Katz, with us tonight, Zach.
Oh, am I first?
You're always first.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Peter.
Hello.
And Tom. You're stupid, Tom.
Hello.
All right, this is the finale of our March Madness. So we started out with 32 fictional peoples.
Wow, that was a great descriptor.
My brain died for a second.
We started it with 32 contestants in our March melee fuck up.
Yeah.
Fuck around, I don't know. You had 16 good guys, quote-unquote heroes, and 16 villains, and we've narrowed them down to our quote-unquote ultimate hero and ultimate villain.
So after we ex-nayed Goku and Saitama because we decided they would just kill each other, we swapped in some wild cards from our number one fan, Jay Gilmer, and then whittled that down some more. And we came up with the final battle as Meetra Surik, the Jedi Exile, versus Grand Regent Thragg.
Right, it's Thragg with 2 G's actually.
Good.
I was doing some more research today, and I'm like, I couldn't find him because I was only spelling with 1 G to begin with.
Thragg.
Thragg. What the fuck is wrong with you? Sorry, I have a cat trying to climb my fucking leg right now.
She wanted to be in the show, and you ruined it. She's run away. Come here, Bailey.
I'm just really glad I was wearing jeans, or else that would have really fucking hurt.
Rude.
Yeah, it was quite rude of her to use her claws like that on my leg.
So Jedi versus Viltrumite.
Thragg's probably gonna win.
I'm like, I was saying,
there's like some specific win scenarios that the Exile could have, but they're too specific. Like, okay, Meetra has the Force Scream ability, which theoretically could fuck with the Viltrumite's equilibrium and stop him from being able to move. A lightsaber probably would have a similar effect to, the sun on his body, so he wouldn't be able to heal from it naturally. She theoretically could kill him, but he could just do the thing where he flies really fast through her.
Yeah, I was doing my research on this too, because I'm like, all right, I don't know enough about Thragg specifically and the Jedi Exile. I actually didn't really know much about her at all until you even brought her up on this, Peter. So I was looking through it, and you're right, like, because the Viltrumites specifically have stuff that is talked about in their inner ear that helps them be capable of flight, but it also makes them susceptible to sonic weaponry. Yeah. And she specifically has a feat of sonic proportions, and like you said, the lightsaber thing. But I'm with you. I think that she has a couple of win scenarios, but Thragg just has too many more win scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it kind of just both comes down to they both have means to kill each other. Only one of them has a means to survive the other one.
I don't know. She does a pretty long tour duty as a Force ghost. I guess that sort of survives. She has a lot more interaction with the regular plane than most other standard Force ghosts.
She sticks around for a while as a ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
And a part of that seems to be because Force ghosts have easier times appearing if they've bonded with the person they're appearing to.
Yeah, that's why it's so easy for them to appear to Luke, because everybody loves Luke.
Yeah. So the reason Meetra was able to stick around for a little while longer is, one, when she was alive, she was really good at making Force bonds very quickly. And two, she had a bond with Revan, who was alive for like 300 years.
Yeah, for a long time Force bond with him. I guess, yeah, that was her other, secret power was she was really good at both creating and severing Force bonds.
Yeah.
Thomas?
Thragg wins.
We all knew it was going to be Thragg.
I would say Thragg wins strictly just because, I mean,
he's a sociopath.
Well, yeah, a Jedi is still a Jedi, and even if she was like she knew that she would have to kill him, he would already know that, but he's like a master strategist, so he would already
So shit.
figure something out. But I would say that on the range of master strategy, someone who's lived over thousands and thousands of years because he's a Viltrumite versus someone who's lived maybe 200 years and seen some combat.
Oh no, she didn't live 200 years. She died at like 30. She
Oh,
just
okay,
kind of
yeah.
stuck around as a ghost for 200 years.
By
Oh,
getting,
okay,
hey,
then
by
no.
getting stabbed in the back by a normal knife.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then yeah, no. She's
That's the thing.
Nah.
They can fuck somebody up. Jedi are very powerful, but they're not durable at all.
Yeah, unless she has an ultimately just finishing killing blow on him, he also has better healing factor than any other Viltrumite as well.
Yeah.
But so that he's more durable, he's stronger, he's faster. It's one of those. Unless she takes his head off in the first blow, he's gonna probably live through whatever she is and be angrier about it afterwards.
Right.
And beat her to death with her own legs.
Oh, not the legs.
That sounds like something he would do. I'm just saying.
It very much so.
he ripped off
There's
the head of a beast and then just was like, "Yep."
So there are, since we're using Meetra, there's a lot of old canon stuff that you can pull from for some of the ridiculous abilities Jedi have, but they all have a bunch of lead-in time too. Like there's really no.
Yeah, they gotta have a focused meditation for most of that shit.
Yeah, because there was one thought I was like, well, she would theoretically know how to make a thought bomb, but it's like, but she would need so much lead-in for that.
And Thragg's just ruthless.
And she doesn't necessarily know about his physiology. She's never fought a Viltrumite, so she doesn't know that he has a weakness to.
She would not know to lead with the scream, basically.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. So he's just going to lead with punching through her because that works for 99.9% of things. Blobs
only
of
other thing that could stop that at that point is if she tried to grab him with the Force, but that is kind of iffy. People can willpower out of Force grabs and shit like that.
I was going to say, even if she's like lifted him in the air and he's quote unquote separated, his whole point is he can levitate and move himself through the air. He's not a Superman guy. He doesn't have to push off. He just floats. So he could theoretically be strong enough to just pull out of that.
I'm trying to remember that specifically because it's not like Superman needs to push off either.
Yeah, he does. Superman has to jump. That's originally where his powers were based on, is that he had to get a fantastic forward leap to begin with to fly.
Originally, couldn't he not even fly?
It was jump real high.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he started to fly, it's technically a kryptonite. It's technically a Krypton psychic technique. It's also how he's able to catch Lois Lane from falling from a building and not splitting her in three with his Man of Steel arms. He uses a Kryptonian psychic technique in order to be able to lift and use things in not at a single point. It's also the reason he can move the Earth, and he's the reason he can move the Earth out of its orbit without just punching a hole in it, because he's one guy pushing on a tiny part of a giant thing. Yeah, they had to come up with some real bullshit to make.
Oh no,
it work.
He fell at the same rate as she did when she caught him, and then.
No, if you'll actually see in the movie, he lands and catches her. He lands on the ground and catches her.
What movie?
The Christopher Reeve Superman movie. Superman. The quintessential Superman movie. The accurate.
I'm pretty sure he caught her.
He doesn't.
As
He actually lands, catches her, and then moves the helicopter out of the way. I believe with his ice breath.
But ultimately, in our 32 contestant ultimate battle,
I gotta give it
Thragg,
to the Viltrumite, yeah.
Thragg takes all.
I'm just glad Meetra got this far.
I think.
Hey, she did pretty good.
Very resourceful. Very resourceful. Though we did have 2 Jedi in our final, I guess our semi-final on the hero side.
Yeah, but of the reps for Jedi, there were good ones.
Oh, they were quite solid. But yeah, I still feel bad my boy Obi-Wan went down, but I still had to give it to her. I think she still wins that fight, but she doesn't win a fight against Thragg.
So I'm looking at the scene right now where Superman saves Lois. He actually flies up to her.
Which is even worse.
She's going down, he's doing that to save her.
Which is even worse, okay?
Yeah.
So, okay, my point stands. Thank you very much.
I think after he grabs her, he lands and then uses the ice breath from the helicopter. But yeah, no, that's... That is not how that would work.
No, there would be 3 equal pieces of Lois Lane splatting into the concrete underneath him.
No, because if you look at how they collided, he does start going down with her as he caught her. He didn't just slam into her and fucking, annihilate
Well,
her.
that's just stunt work. In real
There
life,
is-
he would
no,
have
no.
annihilated her.
There actually is a little bit of it because it's not even a stunt at that point because it's a green screen in the background. There is a little bit of a dip when he grabs her, so he is moving with her for a second, but it's like a second.
I'm pretty sure they did something in Hollywood where they did this stunt, and they had to do that to soften the blow of when he caught her because he technically
it would
did
have
catch
killed her. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think they did that for real, and that's why you see them go down because that was actually him falling down with the force.
Oh
of
no,
her.
that should make sense. But yes, what I said was accurate to how Superman's powers now work, and it's some bullshit that people came up with just to justify the fact that, oh yeah, he can fly now.
I mean, he can just do whatever. I mean, even the jump off thing isn't a thing anymore. He doesn't.
Yeah, but he's the golden boy.
Yeah. Which is why if we do this again, no one is ever allowed to pick Superman.
Well, yeah, no, because the rule is Superman just has to win.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's some people that could beat Superman.
And
You're wrong immediately.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole point. His superpower is that he doesn't lose in the long run.
I think I actually noted for next year.
Ooh, she's putting some rules down.
OP godlike characters not allowed.
Yeah.
AKA Saitama. See, I
Saitama's
wrote
out,
down
Superman's out.
actual rules.
All right, I'm excited
I'd
for
love to
actual
see
rules. I'm excited for actual rules.
I mean, it's pretty much what we had discussed throughout. So they're stuck in a ring, kind of like Universal Tournament style. Death or knockout.
See, okay, you're gonna add knockout. If you can knock him out,
because
are we knocking him out of the ring,
That's
or we knock
because
out?
we talked about characters like Arthas who didn't technically die in
Like I
his
said.
match, but he was done in that
Right.
fight.
I was going to try and explain, but he decided to cut me off.
I was hoping you were gonna add knocked out of the ring, because that could actually add some really interesting strategy.
We would have no means to argue how quickly one would be able to knock another out of the ring. We would also have to consider ring outs just from a character moving like they naturally would.
Yeah, and if you have a teleporting character, how do you count? When they blip out? Do they? Anyway,
No, they have to touch the ground outside the ring.
Their morality and sentience is intact. Weapons or things connected to the soul go with them, how with the crow, he had to bring his little bird, caca. Powers specifically tied to an OG universe are void, with the whole Rincewind situation. Peak forms, unless otherwise specified. If a unanimous decision can't be made, Google will decide by coin toss. OP God character is not allowed.
Well, we don't even need a unanimous. Most of ours were just majorities.
Yeah.
And powers lost or gained from previous battle move forward.
Okay.
Decent rules.
Some of those rules only apply to certain characters, but I'm down for it.
Well, I mean, we can always modify, add.
No. I meant the powers continues. That's Shang Tsung.
There's other people like that.
Maybe Kirby. If
Yeah,
we
I was
throw
going
in
to say, what if you threw a Kirby
But
in
I think
there?
Kirby's qualified as a godlike being.
I wasn't saying anything, but Kirby was in my brain. Was he's not technically a godlike being, but he is technically I suck anything up, and it's my powers now. So
That's why that's a godlike being. No Kirby.
No, Kirby's cool. I'm allowing Kirby.
I mean, I don't know.
I'd argue the same thing. Kirby is going to win if Kirby is put into.
yeah, Kirby would win.
Not necessarily.
Oh,
any opponent that he goes up against, that becomes his ability.
Yep.
It doesn't, not necessarily. What if the opponent is able to dodge his suction technique? He has a limited range, and it's only.
You're thinking of this in terms of the Kirby game and Super Smash Brothers.
I'm not talking.
There is a
Fuck
huge
Kirby.
extended thing for Kirby for how ridiculously powerful Kirby is.
Fuck that. I'm talking
Hey, y'all let me pull about the Chronica shit for Shang Tsung. We'd have to be able to pull anything for Kirby.
I'm just saying, I'm talking. Yeah, Super Smash Brothers Kirby is allowed.
Pretty much. I mean, I guess I'll have to write it down, but basically, when it comes to a character, you can pull from any and all lore associated with them.
Oh, then fucking
So-
Shang Tsung should have won, where he was an immortal god and couldn't be stopped by anything.
Yeah, so
he
everyone
was
becomes
stopped.
OP eventually.
You got a pen?
I'm talking about in his ending for Aftermath, where he's the one that
Oh,
won.
You don't
Yeah.
have to get one.
Like, I do.
I'm gonna write that down while we're thinking about it.
What? No Kirby?
No, that's already written. OP God characters not allowed.
No Kirby. Unless specified, like with Gandalf the Grey, smash Kirby.
Hey, I think Smash Kirby could still put up a good fight. He is beatable though.
Yeah, but the main difference between Smash Kirby and regular Kirby is that he shits out his enemy as soon as he absorbs them. That's not a win move, that's just stealing the power temporarily. Versus Kirby in his own game, where that's the death of that enemy.
Yep.
Well, I guess we could change the we could have Kirby's because that is just too OP of a move. And I know
Unless
in some of
we
those he
do-
can literally suck up everything in front of him and suck it all in. I'm like, no,
Unless
there's directional units.
unless we do an entire bracket of just OP godlike characters.
We would never be able to come to a decision.
Then it just
would be
devolves
all
into the-
coin
yeah.
tossed.
It would have to be. And no one would be satisfied watching that.
No, see, it is possible. But we'd have to start doing actual math, and I'm not prepared to create a math program in order for us to talk about
Look,
who's
if you
going to
want-
win in these fights.
Yeah, if you want to see someone do math and win the fights, just go fucking watch Death Battle.
Exactly.
We were
not
just
those-
talking
we're
about
not
like
those people.
random shit we knew off the top of our heads.
I thought that was more fun. Yes, if we're actually going to if they're all OP God characters, yeah, you have to start doing actual math and the odds of how many times
no,
they
we
would win
just-
out of 100.
We just all get dice and we roll for
Initiative.
an attacks. Deduct them HP points, bro.
That's even worse.
Yeah, but then we have to quantify every single one of their skills before we even start those things.
Yeah.
We'd have to get
I
character sheets.
I wholeheartedly agree. We should not do OP God characters in these death battles.
No. 1 year we need to do just all regular dudes.
Just no superpowers
Just
whatsoever.
all right. So like half my picks.
Yes, yeah. Hey,
Indiana Jones.
I'm saying, there's some great ones out there that don't technically have superpowers. I mean, hell, there's Batman. Though again, if you're going into the
But
canon
if
with
we're
Batman, he
they
technically.
don't have superpowers. You can still grab characters like Han Solo who have lasers.
Yeah.
I didn't say no weapons. I said regular dudes.
Though actually in the rules there, you said that anything that they only bring weapons that are like attached to them.
Right.
So theoretically, a gun isn't attached to your soul.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be
Oh,
armed with
well-
your standard weaponry.
I mean,
Or a gun
that's
isn't
sort of.
attached to you, so you'd have to have,
Technically,
like,
that would make
Thanos.
it
Any-
even easier win for Meetra to beat Obi-Wan because her lightsaber is attached to her soul.
I was saying we're
versus
counting.
Obi-Wan's not.
Right, but
We're
like
counting that one.
anything.
His kyber crystal is attuned to his soul.
Okay, I put it in the rules. Like any weapons they would normally carry on them,
Oh, so they're coming with their standard armament too.
standard
That means if you
armaments.
grab any of the Fallout main characters, they have mini nukes.
That is not a standard.
It is an armament you can have very early in the game.
But it's not a standard armament.
It absolutely.
For an enemy, that might be a standard armament that they've lived with for a long time.
It's fun. I don't think I've ever successfully used a mini nuke launcher in any of the Fallout games without blowing myself up immediately.
Yeah, but it's kind of fun.
It is a little.
Hilarious.
Now, a couple of the super mutants in Fallout 3, I definitely hit with a mini nuke from pretty far. And they still didn't die. That's the crazy part. You're like, I'm just hit you with a mini nuke. What the fuck just happened here?
Nothing
Well, it's
and
only
everything.
extremely deadly if it touches you, obviously.
That's too many health points that you guys got right there, is all I'm saying.
So it makes me wonder about. So we're still leading with the standard stuff with like an unkillable character. If they're stopped in the fight, that's the end of that. How would you stop Wolverine?
He can be knocked unconscious.
If you cut
That's
his
true, but
head
it's
off,
exceedingly difficult. You can't really cut his head off because of his skeleton.
You
Yeah.
can cut it with a lightsaber. You could.
I
Mm,
don't know.
Lightsaber cuts through
No.
adamantium.
I don't think so.
It might have.
Only-
It
so-
might meet a little resistance there, but it's gonna
So
cut through it.
adamantium only melts at a very specific degree. If you go too high or too low, it won't melt.
I know this
But
isn't
the
like
lightsabers at that degree.
in like public. I don't even know how to say. Regardless, I think this would totally count. So, Oh wait, no, that's vibranium, not adamantium. Never
I was
mind.
just having a fun conversation.
No, because I was
What
thinking
were you gonna say about vibranium? I want to know what you were saying with confidence when you thought it was adamantium.
because Captain America's shield is made of vibranium, right?
In
Yes.
the MCU, yes.
So someone put on Twitter, "Hey, who would win in a fight, Luke Skywalker or Captain America?" And Captain America or Mark Hamill was like, "Oh, I would, slice through his shield with my lightsaber or something." And then Chris Evans replied back, "You fool! Now I have vibranium ninja stars."
He
That
has
is
the
true.
Force.
Yeah.
Well,
You
that
should
is-
just stop them from being thrown.
Yeah.
Skywalker would win that fight.
Okay, that wasn't.
Again, that's true, but it is funny because I will say Cap is a master of throwing weapons. I mean, he throws the full
but
shield as an incredibly accurate weapon. You give him little shurikens.
I think Mark Hamill's actual quote is like, "Luke wouldn't do that because they're both good characters, blah, blah, blah. But if forced to, he would shred that shield into, like..."
Yeah, but I mean, he's like, "Fool, I have ninja stars now." Like, yeah, but you're dead, so.
You have ninja
already
stars,
over.
and I have magic powers.
You have ninja stars, and at the very least, you're now down an arm. Like,
Yeah, like,
Hey, if he was really
So
nice, he just cuts around the arm.
But
He
this
still
does.
has
So
both
then
arms.
is what's stronger, vibranium or adamantium?
adamantium.
Adamantium is stronger than vibranium.
Yeah.
So then,
Vibranium is more versatile and it has more uses. Adamantium is just strong.
so then a lightsaber may not
really
cut
fucking
through
tough.
it. Well, it can't-
Because it only melts at a very specific temperature, it theoretically could, but it would have to be able to be at that temperature.
See, my thing is, I had never heard that. I had always heard that the adamantium it just melts at an extremely high temperature. I hadn't heard that it was a specific temperature. If you went above it, that
There
it
was a
didn't melt
specific
either.
character. It
Because
was
that
the only
doesn't make
time I've ever seen
sense.
it, like melt.
That doesn't make sense for it to be hotter than its melting point and not melt. That's not how any metal works. I don't care
Well-
if it's magic or not.
What if you shot him in the head?
Wolverine, again, generally he's unconscious for a small moment if it goes through his adamantium.
Okay, so
Skull.
it is. I had it wrong apparently, but it's 1500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, a lightsaber is the same heat as the inside of the sun. It is liquidized plasma. That's how they melted the adamantium in the first place. Was using a plasma most likely.
Fair enough.
yeah, between 18,000 C and 25,000 C is a lightsaber.
That's what I thought. Yeah, like roughly the heart of a star.
You know, funnily enough, we joked about. I think a vibranium shield might actually be able to take a few hits from a lightsaber.
It would actually probably take the first couple of hits because it would stop the momentum at least technically because lightsabers when they hit they don't hit they're a plasma encased in a force field technically.
Yeah.
The force field is permeable, so that's how you cut people with it, but it has a force field, so it would stop the momentum from the vibranium specifically would stop the momentum from the lightsaber, but then at that point it would just be on the shield and then start melting through it.
Well, I mean, the metal is only used for kinetic energy, so it wouldn't. I don't think it would take that.
That's what I'm saying. It would stop. It would stop the lightsaber. It might bounce it back at on the first blow, and then after that, it would just melt through the thing.
I wouldn't even say that.
I said it might have a chance to do that at least. I don't think it still would. I think the lightsaber still cuts through it like Swiss cheese. But
Yeah, I think so too.
again, in that fight, I think it's more the magic powers than the lasers somewhere.
Oh, well, the melting point of vibranium is 5,475 degrees
Fahrenheit or Celsius.
Fahrenheit. So,
So
still,
guess what? Lightsaber's still hotter than that.
yeah. So it's just cut it.
Zoop.
Fair enough. Either way, no, don't put a Marvel hero against a fucking Jedi. The Jedi's probably gonna win.
Well, yeah, that's why
Well,
Marvel
we're-
bought them.
We're just gonna have to see what happens next year when we put all our heroes together and I randomly seed them.
The random seeding is really what screws it up for me.
How
Well, now
else?
it wouldn't have screwed it up had we known what we were getting.
It's
Had
true.
everyone
It's
besides
true.
Tom and Stephanie known what we were getting into.
I just guessed. Honestly, I guessed.
I'm like, I had a feeling what we were going to do, but I'm like, well,
I picked a good deal of normal ass humans.
maybe I'm gonna pick my favorites, not the best.
Yeah. I just assumed we're going to talk about these characters. Like, oh, okay, these could probably be fun characters to talk about.
They were fun to talk about. They died quickly.
Oh, to be
Look,
fair,
Peter,
most
one
ones that
of
died
your
quickly were not in there, do they?
one of your characters made it all the way to the finale.
That's true. All of mine,
Oh,
literally.
only because we had two of Tom's characters kill each other.
Again, hey, only one of mine made it to the final four, and that's the farthest I got. Tom literally crushed everything on the other villain side of the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Tom pretty
I
much.
think Tom was the entire final four.
Only Tom
No,
beat
that
Tom.
Sephiroth was me
But he was Thragg and Maestro Hulk
and Homelander. Yeah.
He were 3 of the final 4 on the villain side there,
I
Tom.
think the only one of your characters that lost quickly was All Might, because we
Yeah.
decided he would let Sailor Moon fuck around for a while.
And
Yeah.
and Luke Skywalker. Luke was defeated by
Luke went
Goku.
fucking against Goku.
Yeah. I got beat out by my own team.
God.
Twice, I think. Wasn't
We
there
should have
another
thought
one?
about the fact that Luke could have tried to use the mind trick on Goku because he's, brain damaged.
Like
that
an
probably
idiot?
would've worked.
No, I think we did. One of you did argue that, but decided that because Goku was in his
Yeah, because he's in Ultra Instinct.
He would have
actually-
perceived the threat and just
He would
went
he
for
would
it.
perceive the mind trick.
Oh
as
yeah,
a
that was
threat,
the whole
yeah.
reason we gave him the win, because there was actually an
Yeah.
argument that Luke probably could win that fight for a second.
yeah. If
Yeah,
it was
it was
regular ass
who takes-
Goku.
Thinks
Yeah.
Goku's just trying to murder him.
Who takes the initiative is pretty much what happens, and Goku would probably take the initiative first.
That was a round one fight, so a lot of characters were still just acting with their normal morality and not understanding what was going on.
They didn't know that this was literally life or death.
Next year, they will all be prepared for the March.
Only
Hunger
returning
Games.
characters would be.
Yeah, I guess in your rules specifically, things only go between rounds. They still come in fresh.
Yeah. So only returning characters would be.
So here's
what
the
the fuck's going
question.
Does Thragg get to come back next year because he won?
He's got to
Hell
defeat.
yeah.
He's got to defend his
I
title.
would argue
right?
Thragg is a godlike character that should probably go away.
No, he has been depicted dying in media.
I'm just gonna throw out, if you pick
Specifically.
Thragg, I'm picking Invincible at the end of the series.
What, like Emperor Invincible or whatever the fuck he is?
Yeah.
The guy that's
The one that kills Thragg, yeah, that guy.
yeah by falling into
Why-
the sun with him.
So
Yeah,
I don't know that much about it. So why would Thragg be considered a godlike character?
well, because the only person that ever beat
He's
him
just
basically
kind of
had to
leaping
become a
mountains
god
ahead
to
of him.
do that.
Yeah.
You both talked at me once, and I can't.
Sorry.
So while the Viltrumites aren't on the same level as Superman, they're pretty damn close. They have very specific weaknesses. You have to know those weaknesses going into the fight, or else you're not going to stop them.
Yeah, and basically the only person that had ever beaten Thragg, even
Was
a little bit,
Invincible.
was a guy that had already fought him and been nearly murdered by him by like 4 times at that point.
Yeah, and I believe, don't Viltrumites have the almost Saiyan Zenkai
Yeah,
boost?
like when they
get
come
a
back
lot
from the brink
stronger?
of death, they're stronger than they ever were.
Yeah,
Yep, and then their age also does that too. So
Yeah, and so
As he got older and more beat up, Invincible just kept getting stronger and stronger.
he loses a lot of fights, so he gets beat up quite a bit.
a lot.
Yeah.
He's
He gets
Goku on
his ass
steroids.
kicked a lot at first, but then very suddenly
He becomes extremely
he
overpowered.
never loses again.
Okay, so I was doing the research today. I had never actually read that part of the comic, but apparently, like right before the final fight with Thragg, Thragg is literally throwing his own children as projectiles at Invincible, who is so much stronger than them. They're just bursting into goo over him as he's flying at Thragg to punch him in the face. And I'm
Yeah,
like, that's the most
Invincible's
fucked
kinda
up thing I've ever seen. Followed shortly by them both falling into the sun and being immolated while still trying to punch the shit out of each other.
Excellent.
Now we can have that be the end of one of our little death battle tournaments if we want,
Someone throwing
but
into the sun,
everyone's already
please.
seen that fight. So
We already know how that ends.
I mean, most fights can be solved by, well, I threw him into the sun.
So Thragg can't compete next year, but we'll let him come back to crown
Maybe
the new
the-
winner.
Well,
yeah, he
let's
gets a
have
vote.
that be a general rule. I would say whoever is the ultimate winner, you're out for at least the next tournament. Losers come back. Winners, they're done.
Thragg gives me 2 votes next year.
Okay.
Oh, since you won, you get 2 votes for the winner.
I get
the
2
winners next year?
votes.
We'll just let you pick, and you get to pick like extra 2 characters.
I mean, technically, we should all pick 16 characters. Get the full round of 64, right?
That's like way too much, and nobody has time for that.
Or you just have the winner pick the alternates in case we have to double nuke a character fight again.
That could be good. Yeah,
but
that
if
could be
we're
good.
eliminating OP God characters, the chances of that happening are...
Well, there's also just a good chance that we'll grab 2 characters who are
very equally matched.
even and would probably just kill each other.
Yeah, we're picking Superman and Red Sun. There we go.
Yeah,
It's like,
they're gonna kill each other. That fight's over.
Han Solo, Indiana Jones.
Oh shit! I want to see that fight though.
Just fucking.
The problem is they both shot first. How do they both shoot first?
They both go to that gun pretty quickly. So
Actually, the
first
problem
they just kill each other.
The funny part is, I think they'd both go for the gun, then see the other one go for the gun and go, all right, I like this guy. You want to go get a beer? All right, let's go get a drink.
I don't know.
You got any credits?
Blaster shot
And then they would die from alcohol poisoning.
Again, yeah, they both die from alcohol poisoning.
Blaster shot, gunshot, same thing. You're gonna die.
Just
Just
pretty
different
similar. Yeah,
projectile.
it only depends on where you got shot with either of those.
Yeah,
You could live through either of those things being shot at you, or die immediately.
but they're pretty good shots. So
I think that's a click, click, bang, bang, and thump, thump.
Then it's just a race to who bleeds out first, I guess.
yeah.
Well, with a blaster shot, I mean...
But they're the
unless it
same
goes-
person, so they would bleed out the same amount of.
Exactly the same way, yeah, at the same rate. Yeah, they have the same heart inside their chest.
Well, with a
Blaster shots do not cauterize the wounds. You would still
True.
bleed out.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh.
Yeah. Lightsaber wounds do because they stay in the wound. The blaster shot immediately goes through and just fucks it. It fucks you up even more than getting shot with a bullet, bro.
I see.
That escape hole is pretty big.
Well,
I think we should do mostly regular dudes. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, Peters.
no one can hear you.
And he quit. All right, he finally did it, everybody.
You're muted, sir.
Yeah, I'm muted.
Oh.
Now he's not.
You know what? Whatever.
Fixed it.
So we got to go see a super early screening of Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, and 8 Cats.
Oh yeah, it's good, huh?
It's a perfect movie.
Uh,
It took me a second because I forgot our rating
yes,
score is
it's
out of 8.
Yes. It's damn near close. It's
It's a weird fucking rating score we've chosen.
Yeah, right. What are you gonna do? But I will say, even if you know nothing of D&D, it's an extremely enjoyable movie. We had multiple people in the theater with us that knew nothing about D&D and goes,
Okay,
that
so
movie's awesome.
First, I just want to preface this by saying,
Lord.
this is a funny story. So behind us was this girl and this guy, and the girl had clearly gotten dragged to the movie by her friends, and her friends were like at the concession stand, getting snacks or whatever, so she was like holding the seats. And this dude, I not sure if he came with them or if he just happened to be there by himself, but
I think the latter is more likely when you hear the story.
he was trying to like flirt with this girl by explaining to her how Dungeons and Dragons worked. And she was like she was understanding it, but then she would ask these questions and he would be like, no, let me tell you how this works. And I was just like, oh my god, this is the most painful thing I've ever listened to in my life.
She was definitely only humoring him, yes.
It was
We're about to have to sit in a theater next to each other for the next 2 hours. I'm not going to start any problems, at least.
But yeah, Chris Pine was amazing. Storyline was actually pretty good.
It's definitely a popcorn movie. It's just a fun romp, if I may. Some great humor. I will say, slight spoiler alert for anyone there. ladies, if you're listening, unfortunately, Chris Pine does say fully clothed the entire movie. So if that's why you were going to it, you might as well skip it.
It's true.
Shucks.
I don't know if that's a thing he's known to.
Yeah, he got naked in half the Star Trek movies.
Did he?
No, he didn't.
He definitely took off his shirt at least once.
Taking your shirt off and being naked
I mean,
are two.
Not
Okay.
naked, okay. He was
There's
shirtless at least.
there are like brief scenes of that shit. I kind of forgot about it because it happens for like half a second.
He literally has a sex scene that
But
right after the
no,
sex.
he doesn't.
But,
Yeah, he
right
has
after the sex.
he has an
but-
interrupted scene.
Yeah. He has
He's in
coitus
his
interruptus.
boxers.
Sorry, coitus interruptus. And he is in his boxers. Yes, he is known as a sex symbol. And I actually talked to multiple women after seeing them. They goes, "Did he take his shirt off?" And I'm like, "Okay, I didn't know that was a thing people wanted to talk about. That's why I wanted to give
I mean,
this."
he does have like a shirt where his like chesty hairs hang out,
He's got some man bush,
but there's no titties,
stern bush.
no titties, no
Stern
butts.
bush.
Shucks. I really wanted to see some orc titties.
There are no orcs.
I was surprised there was not, but I believe they were trying to keep the rating low.
Well, if you want to watch
It
D&D
fe-
stuff that has nothing to worry about with rating, just watch Vox Machina.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. This feels like they were trying to make the
PG version.
the more family-friendly version of it. They definitely tried to make it a little bit more, or I guess less off the rails than every D&D campaign I've ever been involved with ever.
Yeah, and I mean, I went in
But
with
still
really
pretty far off the rails.
low expectations because I remember the original Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out forever ago. That was
that late 80s or
Or-
early 90s?
it was the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, was it? I didn't realize it was that close in time to now. It feels
Yeah.
like it should have been way longer ago.
We all just need to we will never speak of it again.
Ignore that ever happened.
Yeah, we'll just pretend it never happened.
You brought it up.
Hugh Grant was great.
Yeah, Hugh Grant's in it. He's fantastic.
In the old one or the new one?
In the new one. The old one doesn't exist anymore. It's gone.
And it was 2000. Wait, Jeremy Irons was in that?
Sure.
That's like legit. God, that movie was so bad. It had a pretty legit
I
cast.
told you,
though.
I scrubbed it from my memory because it was so bad.
But Jeremy Irons is legitimately good.
It was a really bad movie.
He's the bad guy. I forgot he was the fucking bad guy. I was trying to give him the
Probably the best part of it, honestly.
Honestly, I
The,
guarantee.
the only part that's worth mentioning.
It's just like Raul Julia is the only good part of the original Street Fighter movie.
But yeah, definitely recommend everybody go see.
They had some solid. And if you do know D&D, they had some solid references in there too. You're like, all right, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, I started laughing because there was a mimic, and I was like, "Ha, we just talked about mimics on the podcast."
There was a secret mimic cameo too. You gotta look for it. They had the standard treasure chest.
About mimics on the podcast.
We
What
did.
the fuck were we talking about? No, I know we did. But I can't
it
remember
was.
the context
I
of it.
believe it was Cloud. It was either Cloud versus Rincewind.
Oh yeah, because Rincewind has
some-
his edible luggage.
Oh, yeah, he said the edible luggage, and we were
Or not edible
we were
luggage,
like,
his luggage that eats
He's
people.
yeah, he would be eaten by that because he's never battled something like that.
And we're like,
Peter's
mimics?
like, no, mimics. A treasure chest? No way.
No, that was the original March Madness thing. I have already forgotten a lot of that.
Yeah. Push that out of your head too. I know.
and you can't keep all the
Well,
information.
still, because like half of mine was like, yeah, this person dies because they're a normal ass human. Like,
Oh yeah, that was the quote of that episode. He's a normal dude.
So
just
he's
a guy.
dead. Then that guy is super dead.
Super dead.
But yeah, Dungeons and
Cadaver.
Dragons: Honors Among Thieves, an unpaid sponsorship. I would gladly be paid to sponsor it.
I would pay to go see that movie.
We got to see it for free. Yeah, I'd pay to go see it again. Actually, it was good enough to It's good enough that I would go pay to see it again, and not wait for it to come in on the TV.
Pretty good.
I think I'd give it 7 cats. I believe she gave it 8. I would still only give 7 cats.
What's the ding?
What?
Wait,
Why'd you kill a cat?
Yeah, why'd you kill a cat?
I didn't kill any cats. I just didn't bring it with me.
Well, no, I'm asking a serious question though. Like,
It was a very basic plot.
Well, yeah, like once you knew what the twist was, but it was still the.
It's a very basic plot. It's a solid standard D&D plot from A to B. There's a solid story. I just like I said, it. The only thing it was just it could have been. It wasn't perfect. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie and would go see it again, but it's not a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Which
I agree with that. That is a fair argument. I haven't seen it. It's like, yeah, you're allowed to argue a movie wasn't perfect.
It was really, really good. It just wasn't perfect.
I was just asking a question.
I don't know.
Man, you seemed a little hostile. You seemed a little angry that he didn't think it was perfect.
I
only got fake hostile when Tom was like, "Why'd you kill a cat?"
That is true.
I was trying to play into it, guys.
My movies that get 8 cats are like A New Hope, The Matrix, the first one, the original. The original Matrix is,
oh my god,
it might be if there was no other Matrix movies ever made, people would still say the Matrix, the first one, was a perfect movie.
So my brain does this thing where like, unless I like know who you are, like any of the Chris's or Robert Downey Jr. or something, for whatever reason, like my mind, like when I see you in a movie or a role, like you're stuck there. And if I see you in another movie and role, like I don't put the two to two together. And I was today years old when I found out that the dude who plays Anderson and the dude that plays Elrond are the same fucking dude.
Yeah, Hugo Weaving.
Are you serious?
I am.
Really? Today? Like legitimately today?
Yesterday years old. I am so serious.
I want you to turn.
What's the context? How did you figure that out?
I don't care. I want her to turn off her microphone and just leave.
I was listening to one of my podcasts, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Hugo Weaving, because he did this thing, and Keanu Reeves, and then he was really good in Lord of the Rings." And I was like, "Oh fuck, that was the same dude." Like my mind just exploded.
Okay, my problem is we literally talked about how Hugo Weaving was in Lord of the Rings when we talked about the Rings of Power thing, because like it's funny because he looks like he could actually be a young Hugo Weaving, but they're not allowed to make him be a young Hugo Weaving.
Right, but we also weren't talking about the Matrix in the same conversation, so my brain didn't put 2 and 2 together.
I will say the only person that happens.
Did you know he was also the Red Skull?
Fuck, are you serious?
Oh my God. I'm done.
You just blew my mind.
Do we just need to pull up Hugo Weaving's IMDb page and really fuck up Stephanie real quick?
I had
no idea. Ooh. Actually, pull up Gary Oldman's. Let's really fuck her up.
Who's Gary Oldman?
All right. Gary Oldman, I was going to say, because Gary Oldman's the only one of these people that does it to me, because he fucks me up every time. I'm like, oh, fuck, that is Gary Oldman. All right, so he's Dracula in the Bram Stoker's Dracula that is directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Keanu Reeves with a terrible English accent.
I've never seen that.
He's Zed from The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
He is Harvey Dent. Or not Harvey Dent, sorry. Commissioner Gordon in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies.
Oh! Gary Oldman!
Yes. He's Sirius Black.
Fuck, is he really?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is Sirius Black.
You guys are breaking my brain now.
He's the guy that gets me. He's in everything, and I'm like, it's until I actually see him on screen, like, fuck, that's Gary Oldman again. God damn it.
Yeah, see? Like...
No, I will say, but it's because he's such a good character actor and falls into the characters he's playing so well, you don't see him as anything else other than that character. And you forget that Gary Oldman is an actor playing those people.
Well, obviously, Hugo Weaving did that to me.
Apparently. Though, I can't blame you on that. Hugo Weaving is fucking amazing.
Got fucking Garrett.
It's not like Agent Smith, Red Skull, and Elrond look that similar.
Oh, yeah, he's also V in V for Vendetta. Hugo Weaving.
Really?
Yeah.
I only remember that Natalie Portman was in that movie, and she shaved her head.
Well, he shaved her. He's the guy that shaved her head in that movie.
That comic is so much more fucked up than that movie is.
You guys want to know something funny?
What?
What's that?
So here you go. You know who Bill Burr is?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I love Bill Burr.
He played Cypher in The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. It looks just like him, though. The guy
it looks just like him. Joe Napolitano is the
He's
guy, but fucking, they look fucking the same. And it's
I don't remember who that is in that
the
movie.
reason why I say this is because Ashley was like, yeah, you know Bill Burr? And I was like, yeah, I think he played in The Matrix. And then she was like, yeah. And I was like, no, That's not him. That's fucking Joe Paltrino. It's like it's a completely different dude.
The one that always gets me is Tom Segura and H. John Benjamin. If you ever see the two of them, like I've never seen the two of them in public together. Is all I'm gonna say. Never seen the two of them in public together.
You know who used to screw me up a lot? Charlize Theron and Scarlett Johansson.
They do look. They look kind of similar too.
Especially in the real early days before she blew up.
Like when they were doing Aeon Flux and what was the other one? Because one of them did one and one of them did the other one. They were basically the same fucking movie that came out at basically the same time.
Ghost in a Shell?
Ghost in a Shell?
No, it wasn't Ghost in the Shell. Oh, what movie was that? It came out the same time as Aeon Flux. No, maybe that was that was a Mila Jovovich.
Was it Lucy?
No, that was a Mila Jovovich vehicle. Sorry, I got confused.
I was gonna say, was it the movie? Was it fucking Lucy or whatever? Where she's like that? She gets kicked in the stomach because she has all those drugs or some shit.
No, that is a decent one, but no, I'm thinking of it was definitely a Mila Jovovich.
You would never recognize this. I didn't know this, but apparently Hugo Weaving played Megatron in the Transformers movies.
Oh shit!
And at least a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, the bad ones.
Yeah, no. Ultraviolet was the movie I was thinking about.
Oh yeah, that was Mila.
That is just like that is basically Aeon Flux. Weird future things, except instead of a big asshole with a pretend disease, there's real vampires. It's weird, but anyway, yeah. Hugo Weaving's in everything.
Wow, my brain is
It
broken.
messed you up. I can tell, and it kind of makes me laugh.
Like I was sitting there, I was like, "Oh my god."
I don't know if your mind should be that blown.
I mean, being that those movies came out forever ago, yeah, that kind of was.
Shit, I think Gary Oldman might have been in 100 films now. That's pretty impressive. That's an mark to be at.
I'm very happy for you.
It's impressive, is what I'm saying.
It's very impressive.
I was trying to blow your mind again with some other people that you're like, wait, they're in everything? Wait, who is that guy? Oh, I forget he's in Leon the Professional, too. He's in everything.
Did anyone else do anything fun or exciting?
Nope.
No.
I've been working.
Lame sauces. It's okay. Well, I guess that's just gonna bring us to some extra bits. All right, so
What was that look for? Did you see her look at me? Damn.
Did I look at you?
Yeah, it's because I didn't say yay, I think.
How dare you?
It's my fault.
Get
what am I
out.
gonna do? All right, bye. You guys have a great night. Thanks so much.
So I've had wedding on the blame.
On the blame.
You've had nothing on the brain, apparently.
All that.
Yes.
I'm blaming her for this wedding. I think is what she was trying to say.
So obviously, since we've been planning the wedding, I've been having weddings stuff on the brain.
Who's planning a wedding?
Not you. You're just saying yes to all of my ridiculous ideas and going with it.
Well,
Even-
as long as you execute them, go for it.
Perfect. Good job.
Even when I'm like, here's this ridiculous thing I've come up with. He's like, well, I guess I can figure out how to make that work.
Well, sure.
I found this article of the most unforgettable and expensive wedding gowns of all time. There's like 50 of them. Some of them are really like, I've never seen this dress before in my life. And other ones I was like, holy shit, I wonder how much that cost as like the price of a house. And it was just really fun and interesting.
So it's mostly queens and celebrities and shit like that?
It's all celebrities. Celebrities, famous people.
All right. Like I said, is there not a queen in there? Princess?
Yeah, I think there are a couple princesses in there.
Yeah, at least had to be one of the Duchesses of England.
Yeah, Princess Diana was on there.
Yeah, like she had a very expensive wedding gown. Real expensive. Like more than the gross domestic product of some countries expensive.
Peter.
No, that was just the wedding. I think the wedding.
Yep.
Did you come up with anything?
I didn't.
Peter's got.
Okay.
He's got no bid.
Tomas.
My bit's just a funny GameStop commercial that I actually found pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. I watched it.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Was this actually like a real commercial that aired
Yeah,
from
it's
GameStop?
literally 15 seconds, and it is a GameStop commercial.
Zachary.
Oh, mine is specifically one video from this Instagram account, but it's a great Instagram account. It's called There I Ruined It, and he does music. He does musical mashups most of the time in a way that just ruins it awfully. I don't want to talk about what I put video there, but you should all click it and watch it. In fact, we should all watch it right now, and I want to see all your reactions while we watch it.
So, I mean, Tom has probably already seen it.
I don't think he clicked it yet.
I haven't clicked it yet.
He
Well,
didn't
don't click it yet.
I just clicked it.
Oh, we should
Oh,
record
he
it.
clicked it. Well,
Yeah, sound on. Sound
they've
on.
ruined everything. We can't do that on here.
Yeah, they can do it where we can't hear it. I just want to see their reaction when they get pissed off. There it is. All right, Tom got to the good part.
Click it,
All right then.
Oh my god, you people.
He
She's
has
got fucking rickrolled.
he has like 4 or 5 of those that you're like, all right, this is pretty. Fuck, he did it again.
Well, the 8-Bit Cat Show usually comes out on Fridays, except when it doesn't. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, review, comment, do all of the things. And you can find us on Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and sometimes Twitch, which we haven't done recently, but that's okay. And until next time, my friends, geek out, be fabulous, and have fun!
Why didn't she just respawn?
Hi, it's the Flannel Guy again. If you join us on Patreon, you get access to our Discord where you might get to talk to me, and I might still be talking like this.